Hi guys. So, one other question that comes up a lot is that how do I move on when I lost someone to the spirit world? Because it might be so devastated. You might lost your best friend, your partner, you might lost your beloved daughter or son, you might lost your greatest parents, brothers, sisters, someone you're really close to, and it is life-changing. And even if you're not close to them, it can be detrimental because when they're gone, it's too late to solve your issues if you had any. And that can also be very hard for people to move on from. And my mom died 29th of December last year, so it's not that long ago. And we have had our ups and downs during our lifetime. And I'm very, very happy that I had the 4 days at the hospital with her before she passed away, because it's like it was no words needed. We knew we loved each other. We also knew that we was like dogs and cats together sometimes, probably because we are a lot alike, and as a daughter you don't want to see that because they are the sides you don't like with your mama. But there you go. But I believe that when you lose someone, for me, who have no doubt that life goes on after death, that I will be reunited again, it doesn't take away the sadness, it doesn't take away the loss, but it certainly is a comfort that I know I'm going to see them again. And I also know they're going to be around me, even if it's not the physical part that I can't have anymore, that I will miss tremendously. So I think when I also have spoken to a lot of parents who have lost their children, I don't know how they continue to live when you lose a child. I don't understand how they get up and continue doing the chores every day, because it must be so much pain there, so much grief that I can't even comprehend. But the one I have spoken to, and when a little bit of time has gone, they usually say that the thought that we're going to be reunited again, it was keep them going. To know that life is not ended, that they hear from them from time to time. They get little signs from them from time to time that they're still around them. And that has made a huge difference to actually have the strength to continue to live. So I believe the work of a medium here to give the evidence of someone who has gone to the spirit world is essential, and that's our job, to prove that life goes on after death. And actually, that is our only job, really, from the beginning, that we should prove life after death. There were no messages back in time, The message was life goes on after death. This is how much evidence you've been giving, so you understand that your beloved one is not dead, Only the physical body has gone. The spirit lives on, your soul lives on. So I believe we have a very important part to fill, because like I said, especially when you meet people who have lost their sons and daughters, it can be an awful pressure to work with people who have lost the children, because from yourself you know that would be your worst nightmare, and you want to do so good for someone like that. So you can actually put a lot of pressure and block yourself if you are not aware of how you're functioning as a medium. And as a medium, you will probably always feel that you haven't done enough. At least I do. Every reading I do, even if it is an intuitive reading or if it is an evidential reading, I usually feel that I haven't done enough. But I think that is a good thing, because it means that I'm striving to become better and better all the time. I think the best thing over these 30 years I've been involved is that I have learned not to punish myself too hard. That I'm doing the best I can at every given time and learning from it. What did I learn from this situation, instead of, oh, I missed that, And this is something I brainwash my students with, because it's been such a huge change within my own work. Because if you can go of the huge pressure, there will always be a little, because you want to do well. And I think that's a good thing. I think that spurs you on, you get more active and more alert. But not beating yourself up, because that won't do any good whatsoever. So it's very rewarding when you do a good job, especially if you learn not to beat yourself up. But there you go. And when you come to a medium, you might expect them to say certain things from your beloved ones. But every medium works from their own life experience, my own indoctrination, and everything that I learned from where I was born to where I am today. And that's the only thing I can use to make a good description for your loved one in the spirit world. So sometimes if you come to me and have an evidential for someone, you get certain things that I have knowledge about, that I can connect and pick up from the spirit. If you go to a different medium, you might get different evidence, because they have a different life experience than me, and they learned different things in life. And if your beloved one have done anything of that they can recognize with, it will be easy for them to pick that up. So sometimes when you go to different medium, yes, you will get different information because of who we are, our life experience. So if you, for example, have said to your loved ones, when you die, to prove that life goes on after that, I will tell you this and this and this when I come to a medium, if you go to a medium. And it might not come up. Well, it doesn't mean that the beloved one is not there. It believes, because of the medium can't pick it up. And you also have to realize that everything goes through the medium's mind. And the only thing we have to work with is our imagination and our life experience. And from that, we can start to unfold the energy, the message they are trying to deliver to us. So it's a lot that goes in when you're working as a medium. The mechanics of it is quite extensive. But what I can say is that what I do today, very simply, is that I open the mind, I put the intention to the spirit world, who I want to work with, and then I know that my mind will interpret the energy that's coming. And whatever pops into my mind when I'm working, then I believe and I trust. And I know I got everything for a reason, because my mind will work for me, not against me, when I put intention out there. And yes, I will get some no's from time to time, and then I realize, I'm learning something more here now. And isn't that exciting? I think this is one of the few works that you can do that you feel like a beginner every time sometimes. You learn something every time you read for someone. You get new experiences, you learn more about the energy, the subtleness within it, and it's so exciting. And I also want to mention that there is a lot of people who are interested in this, and they think, oh, it's just for special people, someone who is really gifted. Well, I don't believe in that, you see. I believe that everybody can connect to the spirit world, because I believe it is a talent. And all talents need to be practiced, and practiced. I mean, it doesn't matter what field you're looking into. If you're going to be really, really good at something, you need to practice. Practice, 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 practice. Practice makes good. And it's the same with this. How do you become good at reading energy? You have to practice, practice, practice. There's nothing that comes for free. There's nothing that is there totally clear from the beginning, and you think that everything you're picking up is correct. No. And I quite laugh for myself sometimes when some people ask you, are you a natural born medium? Have you had the gift from when you was born, Mia? Probably, but I didn't realize it. And I don't believe in saying it's a gift, because if you talk about it like it was a gift that I've been granted, that means that I've been chosen for something special, and I don't believe in that. I believe in equality of all people. So I believe in talents, and talents needs to be practiced to be good. And I also think that when you look at this work, at this whole picture, it's not just about giving evidence. It's about being a good human being. It's about being a kind person. And I think it's easy to be kind when everybody else is kind around you. But to be able to be kind and be humble and think good thoughts about someone who is maybe not acting that kind to you, it's a different story. That can be hard. So I think that's when sometimes we truly show our true colors. And that's when I think you have to look into yourself and realize that, how am I gonna act on this? And I'm gonna be calm with it, and I'm gonna look at it, or am I gonna be a bitter person and leech out or whatever, That's not very spiritual in my book. So there's a lot of things that I believe a spiritual person have to practice on. The same thing is very easy to give if you have plenty, but if you have nothing and still giving, that's really generosity. And it's easy to be a happy person when you are in a good mood, your body is functioning as it should, and you have no problems around you. How do you become a happy person if you have problems around you? How do you overcome it? How do you deal with it? Instead of becoming a bitter person maybe and blames the world. I don't know. But I think that's what the medium should look into. That's personal development. That's spiritual development. And I think it's just as important as learning to interpret the energy for just giving evidence. So don't forget your personal development if you're doing this, your spiritual development, because it will not only change you, it will also change the work for the better. Bye.